Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Coming up this week, a new Muppet show is coming to the Magic Kingdom. New annual Passholder rates at Walt Disney World resorts have been released, and the Flying Fish is getting ready to reopen at Disney's Boardwalk. Plus, it is time to ask the question, has Disney World hit the ceiling of its success? I'll tell you my thoughts, and the team will share theirs. All that coming up next. From the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is the Diz Unplugged, episode 902 for the week of August 2nd, 2016. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, coming to you live from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner, joined at the table this week by my good friends, John Magi.
Hi, everybody.
Kevin Close.
Hello, everyone.
Kathy Whirling.
Hi, everybody.
Julie Martin.
Hi.
Back in the production nook, our associate producer, Oliver Green.
Hello.
Along with our producer, Craig Williams.
Hello.
And, yeah, Craig, I think your mic is either off or...
It was not on.
Oh, I liked it better off. And Rhino Clavin is actually over at Universal and will be Skyping in with us a little later on. But first, a couple things in housekeeping. First, just want to talk about what a wonderful event we had last weekend. For those who were present, my mother has asked me to say this on the show today.
Stay away from her.
Yeah, really.
Back off.
You drove her crazy. You put her in the hospital. Now, the last night of our event at our Epcot, our Illuminations dessert party, Mom just kind of became a little overwhelmed with the heat and ended up having to go to the emergency room. She was checked out and released within a couple hours of getting there. It was just a small touch of heat exhaustion. She wanted me to let everybody know she is doing great, and she appreciates everybody's good wishes. Scared the heck out of me.
Good news. Good news.
But as soon as the paramedics had said that there were no signs presenting of a stroke, because she's had many strokes before, I just felt a lot better. I knew it was the heat, and even as they were getting her into the ambulance, she was already better.
Oh, that's good.
I could see when they put her on the stretcher, she adjusted herself, and I said to Kevin, she's going to be fine.
Yeah.
She was able to sort of pull herself in, which is...
So she was really just looking for attention. It was all it meant.
it was all about us for the weekend. She needed
Really.
a little bit.
And I also wanted to mention something that I meant to mention this on the show that we did last week from Cirque du Soleil about an experience I had at the Boardwalk. It's where I was staying. It's where Mom was staying, Mom and my brother. I got 2 rooms, and I'm not going to go into all the sordid details. I'll just say that there was an issue with my reservation when I got there. They had decided to make a room change for me and not tell me. And I'm not talking about like a floor change. I had one of the garden suites, one of those little cottages, and they decided to move me to a standard room and said nothing. I found out when I checked in.
Oh, geez.
So, understandably, I mean, we had been working crazy that week to begin with, getting everything ready for the event, and this was on Thursday. And so I was a little tired, and I didn't flip out, I didn't melt down, but I made it clear that this was not okay. I booked a garden suite, and if it wasn't for the garden suite, I probably wouldn't have been staying at the Boardwalk, as it's never been one of my favorite hotels. And concierge was apologetic. And long story short, when I tell you, and here's the thing, at that point, they didn't know what I did for a living. As far as they were concerned, I was just some other guy. And I am just some other guy, but you know what I'm saying. They didn't know that I could get on a thing and talk to people about it and say bad things about them if I wanted to. So I got a chance to see their customer service in full swing. Oh my God. They were amazing. It was like old time Disney. It was like old time Disney service. Good. And they went too far. I was like, okay, stop now. So not only did they make everything right, and I got my garden suite, and everything was okay, they turned me around. I cannot wait to stay at the boardwalk again. Just for that level of service. And concierge, I can only speak to concierge. I will tell you, the level of service blew everyone else out of every other resort at Disney out of the water. And I love the Contemporary, and I think the Contemporary, up to this point, in my opinion, had the best concierge level in terms of staff, beaten by the boardwalk. As a matter of fact, I think every concierge lounge at Disney should send people to shadow at the boardwalk and see how it's done. It was incredible. And I will not put that praise on a resort lightly. But the service was just so spectacular. And then the way they took care of Mom, just the way they treated Mom, and how good they were with her. And I saw them doing it with all the guests. It wasn't just us. And then once they did find out what I did for a living, you could see there was like almost a look of relief in their face that they had done it. They did what they were supposed to do. So I can say with a full heart and a passionate voice, Boardwalk, concierge, thumbs up, best on property. Best on property. Cannot wait to go back. Cannot wait to go back. I wanted to, because at first on Thursday I thought, oh God, I'm going to have a rant on Monday's show, because I was upset, and they turned it around, and it was awesome. Good. So yeah, Innkeepers Club, Boardwalk, thumbs up. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. I also, for those who may not have watched the 10th anniversary show or seen this, I don't know if we have a final number yet.
We don't have a final number yet. Actually, Kathy just handed me some checks, so we're still adding up the final numbers.
But I think we're north of $70,000 raised for Give Kids the World last weekend. So it was an incredible event. Everybody did a great job. Everybody pitched in. The generosity of the folks who attended, and those of you who didn't attend and were bidding on items in our silent auction, it was just incredible.
It was. Can I say something about that?
No.
Teresa has, I don't care, I'm just going to talk anyway. Teresa has asked me to let folks know if you won something in the silent auction to, first of all, please pay for it. Once you pay for it, then it'll be flagged in her system, and then you can either contact her, T. Eccles at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com, and she will arrange for you to either have them shipped to you or pick them up at the Welcome Center. But she's getting ready to ship all the items now, so make sure you send her an email, Eccles at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com.
And just in case anybody out there ever has occasion to host why am I getting feedback?
You're all good. It's okay. I figured out what it was.
Okay. In case anybody out there has occasion to sponsor a silent auction for an organization they work with, and you want to do the online thing, I can wholeheartedly recommend Handbid. Handbid.com. These guys were incredible. A little more expensive than their competition, but the level of service that you get and support that you get for your event is really spectacular. Because we kind of did it at the last minute. That was a last-minute decision to go to that, and they helped us get up and running in time for our event. So Handbid if you need to do a silent auction. And with that software now, since we have a kind of an unlimited license for it, I think we're going to do something in the next few months where we maybe do something special here in the studio, and we just do an online silent auction to raise money.
Cool beans.
We had some ideas for some cool things. You can sleep in John and Kevin's bed. We think we're going to auction that off. Extra if you want John and Kevin in the bed with you.
What about the dogs? What happens to the dogs?
Too.
Oh, wow.
Dogs
As long as you walk the dogs, it's a deal.
No, we're thinking about it. So we're coming up with some cool ideas for. It was funny after the success of that silent auction, everybody started getting ideas for like things we could do the next time. So definitely want to do that, and we have some other announcements coming, but we're not ready for it yet. So I'll leave that alone. But just had a great weekend.
It was a great weekend.
Took me all week to recover.
Yeah.
I was exhausted.
I think on Tuesday I took 4 naps before noon.
Well, Tuesday we had another thing that we did here in the studio. So I think Tuesday we were still kind of in that mode. Wednesday, the bottom fell out of all these guys and me. And so, like, as soon as we were done with the daily fix, I was just like, go home. Just go home. Everybody go to bed, get some sleep. But well worth sleep deprivation and some stress. It was incredible. It was an incredible weekend. What else do we have for housekeeping?
Are you going to talk about the shows?
Yeah, we should probably do that.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've done this.
Apparently.
Yeah, but before we get to the shows, we'll do that last. Is there any?
I still have room on the October Backstage Magic. If you're interested in traveling with us October 23rd through the 28th, Halloween party tickets are included.
Oh, and tell them about our surprise we have. Our surprise guest.
Margret Carey will be joining us, and her book is out. So everybody on our trip is getting a copy of Margaret's book. Where
Signed.
she talks about her
And
career.
Margaret Carey, of course, being the inspiration for Tinkerbell, the model for Tinkerbell.
She goes back as far as the Marx Brothers and the Three Stooges comedies also. She's
She's old Hollywood.
old Hollywood, yeah. That's the best way I couldn't.
She's old Hollywood.
I was trying.
I saw what you were thinking.
A lot of experience, a lot of stories to tell
She
too.
did.
She's amazing.
And
She's
she's just,
this woman's like what in her 90s.
Yeah.
and
And-
she's just full of energy.
and she's wonderful. And she will happily pose for pictures with you. And she does something that I find absolutely adorable. Again, old Hollywood. She won't look at the camera. You have to count her off. And when on 3, she poses with you. So you'll stand there and she'll have her head down and somebody will say 1, 2, 3 and she'll go. I love it. It's my favorite thing. I could stand
pops.
there and watch her do it all day.
She's adorable.
She is. Anything else? Anything else in housekeeping?
Oh, the people that who are on the trip, this is the first time they'll be hearing about it if they're listening. They don't know this is happening.
Oh,
either.
cool. All right, so let's talk about the shows we have coming up this week. Tell us what every Monday, disunplug.com, and on YouTube, youtube.com/Dreams Unlimited Travel, the Dreams Unlimited Travel podcast. And what's coming up?
This month we're doing a whole series on groups. We get a lot of questions from folks who want to go on groups. They say, listen, I'm bringing my brother and I'm bringing my mother. I want to book a group. So we sort of demystify groups. We talk about the minimums and the maximums you need for various destinations. We just did Walt Disney World, Universal, and Disneyland. And coming up next week, I believe, is Adventures by Disney and Disney Cruise Line. But I also want to remind folks that for the entire month of August, we ran a contest giving away a trip to Alani.
Or July?
What did I say, August? I have no idea what month it is. Last month in July, the whole month, we ran a contest to give away a trip to Alani. Please go back and watch those. You can still enter. We are accepting entries until August 15th. So you have to go back and you have to watch every show to get the questions, send them in. All of the directions are right there on the show. We list everything out on what you need to do. But it's a great prize, so make sure you send in your entries.
And if you win the prize, they have to pay to take John and Kevin with them.
Correct. In our bed.
Yes.
I know.
In the bed. Also, of course, every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, the Universal, excuse me. Well, no, we have the Disneyland edition. I'm sorry, I'm all out of it today. Every Monday, the Disneyland edition of the Diz Unplugged with host Tom Bell and his team. Do we know? I know Tom sent a synopsis.
Yeah, give me a second to pull that up. Sorry.
I was the only one ready.
Stare at him.
Can we get some Jeopardy music?
The only
Something
one
perhaps?
ready.
Let's just stare at him.
I'm going to do the match game theme. I don't even know what it is.
Hey, Match Game's back.
I know, I love it.
And it's good.
We watch it all the
very
time.
good.
Do you find it a
Okay.
little risque for ABC? It's a
It
little.
was always risque.
yeah,
Yeah.
but this is ABC, and
I think it's still perfect.
It was risque and they were all drunk,
right.
which is the best part.
Yeah. Okay, on this week's Disneyland edition, Tony Spitell discusses the best Disneyland splurges, and also during the news show, Michael will reveal the answers to the Celebrating Disneyland Trivia contest, in case anyone wanted to know what those actually were.
Awesome. Of course, every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern, DizUnplugged.com, the Universal edition of the Diz Unplugged with Craig Williams, Rhino Clavin, and Oliver Green. And what's coming up this week?
This week we're going to be kind of scattered a little bit all over, so going to be talking about the reopening of the Incredible Hulk coaster, as well as some of the other recent additions and changes, and hopefully, as we'll find Rhino and Diagon Alley, hopefully we'll tie in a little bit of the new Harry Potter and the Cursed Child book that came out a little while ago that he already did a great review on over the weekend.
Yeah, he put that out really quick.
I was going to say, did he read it in line?
He read it in 6 hours from the time he got home till late. I mean,
I didn't even know he could
It
read.
must be nice to be able to read for 6 hours. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that's whenever I saw it, I was just like, okay, well, I was at the parks. I was working. He was sitting there reading a book. But, oh, Rhino.
And of course, speaking of Rhino, every Friday-ish, he's a little loose with his release schedule. Diz Pop, where he talks about all pop culture things related to Disney, Universal, and I don't know. There was a gay Sulu story a couple weeks ago, so I guess he. Do we have any idea what he's talking about this week?
Nope.
I know he will be doing. I don't know what his video version is, but audio, I believe. What movie comes out this week? Something comes out this week that he wanted to go see. Oh, Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
So he will be doing a review for that. Probably be up on Friday morning.
Isn't that DC Comics?
It is. Yeah, he's trying to broaden the horizons of all his listeners
Okay.
to what else is out there.
All right. Anything else for housekeeping? Then we'll throw it over to you, Johnny, with the news.
All right, our first news story. New Muppet show coming to the Magic Kingdom. Disney has confirmed that beginning in October, the Muppets will appear in a new show outside the Hall of Presidents. The new show, quote, The Muppets Present Great Moments in American History, will feature Sam Eagle, Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, the Great Gonzo, and James Jefferson, the town crier of Liberty Square, and will include an original song. The Muppets will appear throughout the day and share stories from early America in their own Muppet way, such as the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere and the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
I'm kind of excited about this. I think this
sounds
is going to
fun.
be cool.
Yeah.
I really do, that they're bringing the Muppets over to the Magic Kingdom. I think it's going to be fun.
Now, are they just going to be wandering about?
No, from what I understand, there's all, they're going to be, and I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read something where you're going to be able to see them in a window in one of like the facades. So it's going to be like a show out in the open where you look up and you'll see a Muppet in a window, and they're going to deliver you history, which I'm looking forward to.
Very town crier-ish.
Yes.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Did you know his name was James Jefferson, the town crier?
I did.
Did you really?
I read
thought
it.
I thought it was a character from an 80s sitcom. I
I thought it
Weezy
was-
was going to show up.
They're moving on up
George.
to the second
It was
floor
George
of Liberty
Jefferson.
Square.
Do the Flying Fish one next.
Okay. I don't really have a story for this one. Flying Fish to reopen at Disney's Boardwalk Resort.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah,
You'd
so...
almost think that was planned, wouldn't you?
No, not really. I don't think anything today was actually planned.
No, it wasn't. Well, I had a day. I'll tell you after the show. I had a day yesterday, so that's why I didn't get things out on time. But yeah, so the Flying Fish, it went down for rehab back in February, and then when that happened, I shared my concerns, which I think were shared with by many of us who were fans of the Flying Fish, because it had become so consistently good, and it is one of the top signature restaurants at Walt Disney World. So kind of nervous that they were shutting it down, and then it was announced that Tim Keating, who was the executive chef for a while at the Flying Fish, was leaving. They didn't know who was replacing him, and they were going to change the menu, and I'm like, oh no, this is going to be a disaster. Now, while I haven't had a chance to try the food yet, we did get a chance yesterday, an exclusive interview with Tim Majoris, thank you. I just lost his name for a second. The new executive chef of the Flying Fish. And I will tell you this. When I walked into that restaurant yesterday, my jaw dropped. It is gorgeous. They have, it's completely changed. The whole look and feel of it has completely changed. And I thought it was a beautiful restaurant before. They just, oh my God. It's incredible. And so tomorrow we're going to have that interview up. We were asked not to release it until Wednesday when the Flying Fish opens. So we will have that interview for you tomorrow. And Chef Tim will share some of his favorite dishes on the menu and talk about the menu. And I'm very, very excited. We're going to be having dinner there tomorrow night. So we're going to have a review up sometime later tomorrow night or early Thursday morning, and very excited about it, and hoping against hope that this change is a good one. So far, from what I've seen and talking to the chef, it looks like it is going to be a great change. But all comes down to the food.
Yeah.
It all comes down to the food.
But it looks great. I mean, the menu was released online this morning, and it just has no desserts on there, but the appetizers as well as the entrees. And there's a couple
I
of
want to make
things
a
on
bet.
here
I
that
would
sound
bet
really
you guys
good.
$5 that Corey orders the pork belly appetizer.
In a seafifood
Whenever
restaurant.
he's
Loves-
listening.
Yeah.
Well, he loves pork belly. I know he will.
He'll do that, and then he'll probably go with the
Yeah, he'll
Wagyu
get
Yeah.
the Wagyu.
filet mignon.
You don't
I'm
think
sure.
he'll go with
Well, he does
seafood?
like seafood, though.
But Wagyu.
I know.
Wagyu.
I know.
Well,
It's
see,
almost like you're both married to him. It's crazy.
Yeah, it kind of is.
one of the things that I really appreciated about the Flying Fish is that it is a seafood restaurant, but the menu was great for those of us who don't eat seafood, and that was one of the things I was concerned. I still am concerned about. But they have a chicken dish, they have the Wagyu beef dish, and they have a bison dish on there, and so I'm interested to see.
And besides besides obviously like shellfish and stuff, for the actual fish, the only one that they will have on a regular basis right now is the wild Alaskan king salmon. Then the other two fish options are both going to just depend on what is fresh and available to the chefs in there. So that's very exciting that
Yeah,
no matter
it's-
when you show up.
One of the things he did say was that this is going to be an extremely dynamic menu, that it's all about sustainability and it's all about what's fresh and available then. So this menu is going to change frequently. So very, very excited to see how this is. I'm very excited to eat there tomorrow night, and we'll have that interview to share with you tomorrow. I'm done now.
All right. Our third and final news story. Walt Disney World has released annual pass holder discounts through early November 2016. Annual pass holders can save when booking a room-only reservation at select Walt Disney World resorts this fall. Valid for stays most nights August 1st through November 5th, 2016. Unbelievable.
It is absolutely unbelievable. And it's only the latest in a string of unusual discounts that we've seen this year. We were hearing back in March that the deluxes were light for the summer, and they slashed the prices of you're getting some great rates at the deluxes this summer. We're hearing that blackout dates for cast members getting into the park on their main gate have been eliminated for the remainder of summer because the crowds are lower. There was an article in the Orlando Sentinel last week by our good friend Sandra Pedicini, who was talking about what she's been hearing, and that all the parks are soft this summer. And
All the parks across the world, or just Orlando?
Orlando. I'm talking about Orlando. And so you look at that, and then you look at this, discounting rooms by 30% into November. They've never really had to do that before. They've done free dining promotions. But free dining promotions aren't discounted hotel rooms, as we found out. A lot of times you can get it cheaper by just getting a room discount and paying for the
Dining
separately. So that they're doing this across the board, 30%, in a year when they've had a lot of PR issues. So obviously the Pulse shooting, even though it did not happen on Disney property, it happened in Orlando. The story came out that he was casing Disney Springs before he went there and committed this horrible act. So there's Disney's name in the news story. It's kind of like when there's a wildfire in Central Florida. It could be 50 miles away. Kevin's pointed this out a million times. It could be 50 miles away from Disney World, but you're going to see Cinderella Castle and a fire.
Oh, I can get that too. And even when there's like a hurricane. People call us up and go, "Are you in the line of the hurricane?" No.
No, it's 100 miles south of us.
Exactly.
But so you've got that. Of course, the horrible tragedy with 2-year-old Lane Graves being attacked and drowned by an alligator in the beach off of Grand Floridian. Those were things really, in many ways, outside of Disney's control. But then there are the PR blunders that have happened this year that were not outside of Disney's control. The tone-deaf release of all these extras, preferred parking, so much money to be in the parks a little early, so much money to be in the parks after hours. All these extras that, the nickel and diming, we've talked about, the hashtag thanks Shanghai, because the parks needed to generate more revenue in order to offset the cost overruns in building Shanghai Disneyland. Then you have just some of the other stuff, the complaints about, that are kind of an extension out of My Disney Experience and My Magic Plus, with longer lines for attractions that never had them. You had an article earlier this year in the New York Times that was fairly scathing about the wait times and things like that at Disney World. So you have this narrative being formed, some of it in Disney's control, some of it not.
Don't forget also construction at 2 of their parks.
That was my next point.
I was just going to say.
That was my next point. Half of it is under construction. And you've got Hollywood Studios reduced to about 30% of what it used to be. I'm being there's a little hyperbole there, but not much. Every place you look, there's construction.
I think that has, in my opinion, that's probably the biggest thing. That's what I think. And I think that's because people have decided, well, why go during construction? All of these things sound very exciting. Let's wait.
Oh, that wouldn't affect Universal. That wouldn't affect SeaWorld necessarily. I mean, you do have that crossover from Disney, from people going to Universal and SeaWorld, but I think what you have here, I think it's more than that. I think that's certainly part of it, but it feels to me, been following this for almost 20 years now. What it feels like to me is that we might be witnessing something I've said it 1,000 times on this show. That these things that people complain about, ticket prices and all the extras and the nickel and diming, isn't going to change until people stop paying it, until people's behavior changes, until it's not rewarded anymore. A little Pavlovian maybe, but true. So I wonder, and I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but I think it's time to start thinking about it and having the discussion, has Disney hit the ceiling? Have they, when you've got people reading all of these negatives, all of these things happening, the stuff in Disney's control and out of it, the construction, the heat, the long lines, it's expensive. Has this all finally reached a critical mass where people are now just deciding to stay home and go somewhere else?
I have one more bullet in the chamber. And I want to make sure that we talk about this in a responsible way. But the next bullet in the chamber that I think is really going to cause a real bad drop-off is now the report that Zika has been reported in Florida. And I want to make sure people understand that this is in an area, a very small area, nowhere near Disney, near Miami. A very small neighborhood is found to have 14 cases. But alone, just saying Zika has been found in Florida has already started people
Once
rumbling.
the news comes on, it will be the mosquito in the castle.
Yeah.
I've actually canceled 2 different Universal reservations for women who recently found out they were pregnant. They didn't want to travel here.
Right?
Yeah.
And this is going to be the next decline in Disney's attendance.
Then you have the economy, the issue of the economy in Latin America, especially Brazil. The economy in Brazil is in a free fall. So a lot of those tour groups that would come to Disney in the summer are not here.
I saw plenty when I was there.
Those were the wealthy ones.
It's far lower than it.
We saw 3 different groups.
I also think you have for that there's there's a ramp up. These folks have booked a while ago and have paid, and now they're coming. I think we're seeing the succession of that.
And then you have what's happening with the economy in Europe right now. It's a very, very uncertain economy.
In Great Britain.
Well, in Great Britain, but across Europe, you look at the euro. The euro is now at $1.11 US, which is the lowest I've seen it in a while. The British pound is starting to make a little bit of a gain, but it's still, as of yesterday, $1.32, I believe it was, or $1.36 to the U.S. to the British pound. So, but when I was in Italy in 2014, the euro was at $1.47 to the euro, and the British pound was at $1.65. So, with all of these things, no one of these things is responsible.
There's also some fear in the world. There's also some fear of the world situation.
Traveling and things like that, for sure.
Well, I think no one of these things is responsible for this, but taken together and looking at Disney's response, I think we are going. Okay, I love when that happens. I think we are going to see. I think we're going to see a lot more discounts. I think we're going to start seeing discounts we're not used to seeing. I don't think they can keep going back to the free dining bandwagon. I think they're going to find other things. I am noticing them getting a lot. I'm noticing as an annual pass holder, more and more love coming our way.
Yes.
Well, that happens every time there's something like this. All of a sudden, you're important again.
Right, but the last time that happened was when we had the market crash, which was the worst in 70 years.
Right.
So Disney starts ramping up things like that when stuff's getting really bad.
We're seeing it for DVC members. DVC members are now getting a lot of stuff come
I
their
bet those
way.
people get those discounts back.
So, I mean, I think you see it on the sort of affinity areas get first, right? Annual pass holders, DVC members, those are the folks that are trying to sort of boast up. I don't know.
Bolster.
Take a breath.
Bolster their numbers and get their sales up and see if that affects their bottom line.
But here's the silver lining to this cloud for us, the fans. And again, this is all speculation. Okay, I don't have any hard data here. This is all speculation based on what I'm seeing. With that said, we're usually pretty good at predicting where things are headed. Not 100%, but we've got a pretty good track record. The silver lining, I think, for us and the fans is that, there are going to be more deals. And it's going to be a little easier and maybe a little less crowded than it has been historically. And, I'll take any love they're going to throw at annual pass holders. And I love some of what I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. And I think there is a lot of exciting stuff. I think if there is a downturn, if Disney has hit a ceiling, it's a very nimble company in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to money. They will adjust and they will recover. But in the meantime, I think this is what we need to be looking for. We need to be on the lookout for these things that Disney's going to do to help bolster business. Now, I mean, I've been in the parks quite a bit the last few months. And with one exception, I haven't found the crowds to be insane. Considering it's the middle of summer. Mm-hmm. Considering it's the middle of summer, I haven't found the crowds to be insane. Does anybody else disagree with that?
The reports I'm getting are where it's usually crowded, it's still crowded. It's still crowded at the studios because of the limited space. It still feels crowded at Animal Kingdom because of the limited space. But once you get into Epcot, people are saying no.
I'm talking about Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
I've been in the Magic Kingdom a half a dozen times in the last month, and I'm constantly surprised that, it's not that it's not busy. It is. It's just not that usual July, shoulder to shoulder, wall to wall, everything's an hour and a half long type of thing. When I'm walking past Pirates of the Caribbean at 6:00 on a Friday night in July, and the standby is 15 minutes, that's not a busy day.
No. Not at all.
So, I don't know. I'm interested to see what's going to happen, but I've been thinking about this for a few weeks, and then when I saw that story about the annual pass discounts running through November, I'm like, okay, yep. We're definitely, because especially, October has become a really great month for Disney.
Yep.
So many people come in for food and wine, and rightfully so, but that they're discounting rooms is unusual. So we will see, especially when it's not tied to a free dining promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it's not tied to free dining. So we will see. Love to hear what you think. Podcast at disunplug.com. Send us your thoughts. Maybe we'll address them. Maybe we won't. But with that, we will wrap up news. Right. And I see the giant head of Rhino Clavin in my line of sight. And,
like the Wizard of Oz.
Yes, you are. He is over at Universal Studios, and from the looks of it, you are in London, just outside Diagon Alley.
Well, you said the British pound was doing so well for us to go over there. I figured I might as well come over here, right? It's the same thing.
So, what are you up to today?
Well, I was celebrating the release of that new Harry Potter, the script, the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child parts 1 and 2. So I figured I'd come over to Diagon Alley and just kind of walk around. And I brought my my wand here with me to do some magic, but it's really crowded inside of there.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's and since it's so hot outside, I feel like I'm encountering a lot of grumpy people today. So.
Did you show them your wand?
Huh?
Have you shown them your wand?
I showed them my wand, and they seem to get grumpier. I don't know what the issue was.
Well, you're poking them with it.
Well, it usually works. It usually, puts people in a better mood. Just not today, I guess. Security asked me to put it away. I don't know.
So
Weird
what have you experienced today?
Well, I went around. I just went around, kind of. People watched a little bit, looked at some. There's a little bit of construction update over here. I walked around City Walk. They're putting up across from NBC Sports Grill and Brew. They have some bleachers going in with a sign that says viewing area for the 2016 Olympics, the Rio Olympics. So that's pretty cool, I thought. Other than that, it's just so hot outside. I've really just been kind of wandering, looking at merchandise, going in and out of shops, staying cool, debating, do I want to eat another ice cream?
Tough life.
Yeah, it is a tough life. Yeah. So just while we've got you here, because we weren't sure, what is Dispop going to be about this week?
Well, I did the, if anyone missed out, if they want to know what my opinion was of the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, parts 1 and 2, that's up on our YouTube channel. And then I think this week I'm going to do a comic, Disney Marvel Comics wrap-up. So I've got a bunch of comic books that have been out for a while, some big events going on that I feel like we should talk about. And we're going to wrap up the Haunted Mansion comic just finished, so we're going to talk about that too. And some news, some fun news.
Yeah, your review on Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is doing really well.
Yeah, I just checked before this, and it has officially become, I started Dispop like the last week of April. It is now, in the 2 days it's been out, the most popular episode of Dispop with 50 views. No, it's got like almost 10,000 now. So
yeah,
it's insane. It's crazy.
So
thanks for watching. Whoever watched that, I appreciate that. I just was talking about something I love. So.
Oh, you got it up right after the book came out. So.
Yeah, I was a sad person. I was there at midnight and I left, and then went back to get it again in the morning, and then I just sat and read all day, and it was fun. So.
And was this a work day?
It was. I considered it. It wasn't really a work day. It was a Sunday. It was the Lord Harry Potter's day.
If it ends in DAY, it's a work day.
It's true. That
Don't be
my answer. Dang it.
No heresy.
Dang.
No heresy. All right. Well, go back and play with Harry Potter.
Okay.
And
keep your wand in your pants.
I'll try my best. I'm not making any promises.
Okay. Well. All right. That went south quick. Take care, Rhino.
Bye.
All right, so that's God bless him, Rhino over in Universal. So, all right, let's move on to rapid fire, and we'll start with you, Mr. Magi.
All right, today this morning, 2017 Disneyland Resort packages went on sale. Very exciting. A lot of folks.
Why did they wait so long?
I don't know. It makes us crazy. Just to make me even more gray in my beard, I think. Not a bunch of a change from 2016 packages. Nothing big to report as far as anything different, just that they're available and you can book them. And then the other thing we're hearing, too, is that 2017 Alani Resort Stays went on sale this morning as well. So if you're looking to plan your 2017, now's the time to do it.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kevin.
Disney has released Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party t-shirt on their Shop Disney Parks app. This is not in the Disney store, from what I understand.
Correct.
You have to buy it through the app. And it's autumnal colors, and it's nice. Also, that's going to be on sale beginning August 14th. August 15th through the 28th, the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival t-shirt comes out. Kathy, have you seen it?
Yes, I have, because
All right.
Figment's on it.
All down one side. And then October 10th through the 23rd, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party t-shirt comes out. And again, these are available on shopbydisney.com. And then in December, we're going to release Easter. Oh, that's not true. It's going to be like Cracker Barrel.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. First of all, I love the special shirts they've been coming out with. I just got that one in the mail yesterday. The Illuminations that Kathy is wearing. The audience can't see.
No.
Sit up. There we go.
There you
Pull
go.
the shirt up. There.
Pull it up over your head. We'll throw you beads.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's kind of glittery and
Yeah, it's
a lot of
nice.
fun.
Kathy's going wild.
And yeah, they've been coming out with a lot of these shirts over the last few months, and I'm loving it, and I'm excited about these. I don't know that I'll do the Figment one. Let me see it.
No.
Oh, you need a Figment shirt.
No. I love Figment. I just don't wear Figment. If Burberry comes out with a Figment shirt, I'll put it on.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the most disturbing thing right now on my screen.
Is it Rhino again?
Rhino and Craig doing something to a hot dog together. Craig and Rhino share a Kong dog. When did this go up? Today?
Yeah.
Corn dog?
If you want to see that which cannot be unseen, at least go look at the thumbnail of this very disturbing video.
It's very Lady and the Tramp. That's how I'd describe it.
Well,
Except,
it's
like,
very...
Craig being the lady, right?
Okay, it started out with our Disneyland content. I believe you and Rhino shared a churro, and you Lady and the Tramped it. And then I think Oliver and Rhino Lady and the Tramp something at one point.
we've never ever Lady and the Tramp
leave
anything.
me out of
I
this.
can put that out there.
Now,
No way.
Rhino, anytime there is anything that is phallic shaped, Rhino wants to Lady and the Tramp it.
Well,
I just want to mark this day as possibly the day we've jumped the shark. This might actually go down as the day where it happened.
Lady and the Tramped It just became a thing.
Ladies in the tramp it. Let's make a shirt.
At the
sudden
next
it's a
auction,
verb.
we will auction off the opportunity to Lady and the Tramp something with Rhino. Okay, but now I'm just like sitting here looking at this, going, "What the hell am I looking at?" And sharing a Kong, and I just didn't know where this was going because I see Kong and dog, and I get the letters mixed up.
So did he.
But okay, thank you, Kevin. Kathy,
Okay. World famous yodeler, Margret, Almer, and
She
the
did that
Bavarian.
without quotes, too.
well,
had
Craig
to
put a
get-
video of this up.
Yes,
The other day.
And she's actually quite good. I went and did a YouTube search.
I
for her.
wanted to make fun of it, but I couldn't. She was
Yes,
really
she
good.
really
It's a
is
hard
good.
thing to do.
I don't know it's easy or hard. She was very good at it. So
But she's appearing 5 times a week on the stage in Germany. So if you need to see a world famous yodeler, she's your person.
I really thought I was going to be able to mock that, and I watched it, and I'm like, okay, it's actually kind of good.
Yeah, she's very good. However, she kind of takes like a side turn in the show. So she opens it
Does
up.
heavy metal?
she opens it up and she starts yodeling really awesome like.
She starts yodeling Inagata Davida.
And then the guy who plays the guitar and keyboard, then he starts singing, but he does it like all 80s David Hasselhoff style songs instead of like traditional. I mean, it's a take on
But
it,
like
but
slow jamming the yodel?
it's just that it's that. I don't want to say it in a mean way. It's that crappy '80s,
Nothing mean about
crappy
that.
'80s
Crap is
European
usually a
pop.
compliment.
Like it's
Euro
just-
trash. Yeah, that's what they called it. That's what they called it back in the day. The
That's
pop coming out of
basically what
Europe,
it
we
is.
called it Euro trash.
Yeah. So, but it's still entertaining. I
We
wish
loved
she
it.
would. She needs to sing more.
I don't think the chicken dance is that entertaining.
No, that was just sad because it's like they want to get the crowd into it, and
funny.
there
I gotta
wasn't.
tell you, I think the only way I would go and see this woman yodel is if actual yodels came out of her mouth. That would be the
And you
only.
could pick them up and eat
I
them?
could pick them up and eat
And then
them.
you and Rhino could Lady in the Tramp.
Champ the yodels.
All right, thank you, Kathy. Julie.
Mine is very rapid. As of July 31st, Sunshine Seasons is no longer serving breakfast. Thank you.
I think Julie deserves a round of applause for doing it without notes.
She's been memorizing it all show.
I'm actually really
Yeah.
sad to hear that because that
Yeah.
was a great place in Epcot to go and get. So, any
Yeah.
idea why?
No, I've not
Is
seen any
it
reason.
thanks Shanghai? I mean,
Thanks.
it was a great place to get breakfast.
Well, they also haven't said if it's going to be seasonal. So maybe when it gets closer
Well, if
to
it
the
is,
holidays.
well, I don't know if it is seasonal. Well, maybe that's because crowds suck this
Yeah,
this
could be.
summer. I don't know, but all right. Well, thank you, Jules. Olive.
Hello. Yes, my rapid fire. There it is. They have just installed the electronic vehicle charging stations at the Transportation and Tickets Centre. There's a photo for those of you watching.
Can I
There's-
charge my phone there?
They have some
Um,
at Epcot.
They've had them at Epcot for a while.
Yeah.
I remember seeing them for quite a long time, but these are all nice and new. And I don't know. I think they've been there for about 10 days
So,
now.
in other
no
words,
one's used them.
are they also like right up front?
Yeah, yeah. They are.
Tree hugging hippies get a special parking.
They
spot.
are.
That's
No, I
right.
noticed that. They are literally closer to the front than the disabled spots.
We
are.
have missed. Did Craig do his yet?
No, that's
I was
saving
gonna
the best
say,
for
because
last.
there's a headline here.
Okay.
All right.
All right. This is the big story.
Okay.
That's why we saved
ready?
it till last.
Are you ready?
Go for it.
The handleless mugs have arrived at Saratoga Springs.
Oh, well, I covered this morning.
So I went and checked them out
You really
yesterday,
are in the forefront of the news now.
I am. I'm on the bleeding
and
edge. Me and Brian Williams.
people are pissed off.
Well, now your hand's all sweaty. You have to touch the condensation.
Well, it's like,
Snap out
okay,
of it.
you are not going to tell me that this change is anything else other than Disney trying to make their cost of the mugs less. That's
Exactly.
it. There is no convenience to removing the handle off anything. So you're going to pay $18 for a crappy piece of plastic that's going to hold soda that Disney gets for free anyway. And they still have to find a way to squeeze another nickel out of it. So when we talk about these tone-deaf PR decisions that they make, front and center.
Yep.
Front and center. This is a great example of it. Now, what they're saying is this test will not. They're not going to. They're going to roll it out to other resorts based on guest feedback. So shy of, as I said in the Daily Fix today, a full-on burn the castle to the ground meltdown, they are going to roll these out. So if you're really unhappy about this, let them know. Let them know. I think it's absurd. These things, I don't know. It's just, what are they thinking? What has to happen? How bad does it have to get? It's like what you say to an alcoholic who won't stop drinking. How bad does it have to get before you go to rehab? How bad does it have to get before you stop making stupid decisions?
I think they should just do away with mugs completely, and you should have to go under the spigot. I think that would be the best.
Well, I'm
Drinking out of a
Put a
hose.
chip in your head so that it only works certain days.
I'm on team handleless.
Of course you are.
No, I hate mugs with handles because they don't fit in my car cup holders.
That's, I
Okay,
think, the
when
difference.
you are touring, when you're at a resort at Disney World, and you usually have, usually there's other stuff in your hand. So being able to have the handle, I don't know, was always more convenient for me to carry that mug around if I had a handle.
Also, one
True.
person usually goes up with
Yes,
4 mugs held by the handle so they can get mugs for everybody, soda for everybody
Maybe
in their
that's what
family.
they're trying
But
to do.
I'm only on property using a mug for how long? Back when I had vacation, I'd be there for 7 days, but then you go home and I want to use the mug further beyond that. And if it's inconvenient to me, then I'm not going to use it.
What, the handle somehow affects your ability to use it?
It doesn't fit.
It won't fit in my car cup holder. That's when I want a travel
We have
mug.
a little notch.
I know, but it
So-
doesn't.
Well, one of the things being suggested on the boards is sell both.
Yeah.
Sell both.
Well, the other is, I don't know if someone was just joking, but they were saying going the way that Tervis does, where you can buy different attachments, including a handle attachment.
Oh, God help us.
Oh no, that's what they're
God
gonna
help
do.
us. If they start charging extra for handles.
Who's Tervis?
I don't know. But apparently they charge extra for
They make a
handles.
tumbler. Disney Cruise Line has them.
Yeah, it's a
They're
tumbler
nice.
that keeps things cold.
If you've
not-
Hot
seen,
things hot, cold
It's
things
usually
cold.
clear.
What's it
It's
called?
Not, it's
What's
not
it
like
spelled?
Tervis tumblers.
T-E-R.
I don't. You say it like I should know what it is. I've never heard of it.
You'll know it once you see it.
T-E-R-V-I-S.
What's spell the name?
TER,
T-E-R-V-I-S. You can buy them at Publix.
they are the people that make. If it looks like behind the plastic, it's like an embroidered
Oh yeah, I've seen
design.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
the
I watched
Tervis
the
ones.
Mariah Carey behind the plastic. That's no more ridiculous than the rest of the
Exactly.
I think
I have a question.
Now
Do
the mug-
strollers accept mugs with handles?
No. Your cup holder would be.
I think that's
Oh, I'm in Kevin's shot.
that to
Yeah,
me.
you can't put a handle.
Is a thing.
A handled mug in the.
That to me is a reason to have one without a handle. They don't fit in the stroller cup
Yeah.
handle. They don't fit in the stroller cup holder.
Well, I think the only answer to this, the only answer is for Disney to offer both.
I think it's Tervis's fault.
Give choice.
Yeah.
Instead of saying nope, all no handles
away.
or all handles. Give people a choice. Let's see if they actually do that.
And then
And you know what? Start making these damn things resort specific again.
yeah.
Yes.
Instead of this generic garbage. It is the least interesting mug
Exactly.
that I have in my cabinet.
Yep.
or make them good for in the parks and charge more.
Yeah, there you go.
And they make them.
Do what Universal does, because Universal has their freestyle Coke machines all over the park.
Right.
So you get your refillable mug, and you can go around with it and use it all
I
day.
would buy that mug.
In a heartbeat, right? In a heartbeat.
Alani does a specific mug for their resort. Do it for everybody.
And they have handles. Just
Not
saying.
anymore.
Apparently, you have to be in Hawaii with no theme park in order to get that.
Exactly.
So,
Should we do a Facebook poll on it, maybe?
that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Thanks, Tervis.
Handles, no handles, or both. That will be our Facebook poll. Facebook.com/DizUnplugged. That'll go up as soon as Craig gets it up. I think that'll be a good one. Okay, we're not in the 8th grade.
It was Julie Summer.
No, it was
Don't blame her.
I believe three of
blame her.
us gasped.
We did.
We were worried it was going to
And
be
it
Lady
brought
and
me
the
back to
Tramp.
Ryan's wand.
Oh God. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see what you the people think.
Hashtag thanks, Tervis.
Thanks, Tervis.
Thanks, Shanghai. You took my handles. So, all right, that brings me to the end of what I got.
I just want you to know, we made a whole pitcher out of lemonade. A whole pitcher of lemonade out of one lemon.
I have no idea what you said.
He did.
I knew what he was saying.
Kevin thinks he's Beyonce.
So I'll do
I got hot sauce in my bag.
just to kill time. I'll do a product placement. Vanilla Coke Zero.
If we got money, that'd be great.
Oh, we went to the Coca-Cola store on my birthday.
What did you think of it?
I love Coke.
There's your drop-in.
There's Julie's ringtone. There's Julie's
But
ringtone.
I was really impressed with the amount of different types of merchandise that they had. Like, I saw a Christmas ornament that I want, some glassware that I want, and we went to the top and we did the float tray. I'm not doing the international
that
tray.
picture.
I mean, come on, people. I've tasted it before at Epcot, so wasn't wasting my money on that. But I thought it was awesome. We all sat down and tried all 8 of them. Of course, there were some that were kind of Like, who wants grape Fanta with ice cream? Oof.
I don't know. I kind of
It was just okay. The orange was the worst.
Was it?
Orange Fanta with ice cream. Ferris liked it though. But yeah, we had a really nice time there. Corey was pleasantly surprised because I've been wanting to go so bad. And he's like, I don't know if I really want to go there. I'm like, it's my birthday.
But you guys have been spending a lot of time at Disney Springs lately.
Well, we've been a few times in
Yeah.
the past 2 weeks, but
And I have as well. I've been going down to the Fork screen, the AMC Eat While You Watch a Movie theater. I must have been there. I've been there 3 times in the last month, and then we go to Sprinkles afterwards. And
You have to go to Homecoming, the new restaurant
Yeah.
by Art Smith.
Been hearing a lot of good things about that.
Been there
A lot of good
twice.
things.
I have not had a bad meal yet, but their hush puppies with a red jalapeno jelly dipping sauce are to die for. And the
is it really
service.
hot? Is it really spicy?
No, it's not. It's got like a little bit of a heat, but everything we've had in there, the fried chicken, we had the Jasper board that had homemade pickles and just everything in there. And they come over and they fuss over you at the table. Really great restaurant. You guys have to try
We're
it.
definitely gonna try it.
that was my children's first time having soda ever.
Oh,
At
really?
the Coca-Cola store?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not something that they drink. We don't really keep it in the house to drink on a regular basis.
Your children's first time out of the house.
But no, the best line was at the end because Finley, she looked at me and goes, Mom, I'm really into Coke. I was like, let's say Coca-Cola.
Like mother, like daughter.
I was just about to say that. That's so strange.
Wow, this restaurant must be really hard to get into right now because I'm not seeing anything until August 15th.
I don't think they're in Disney systems yet.
Right, they're not.
Yeah.
They said another couple of weeks. Disney makes them be open for a month before they'll list them in there.
Yeah.
But if you go for lunch, you pretty much can walk up and get a table. And about 4 o'clock, because we've done lunch and dinner, it starts to get busy about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But they also have an outside grab-and-go area that you can get something to eat. But the food's really, really good.
Okay. That's awesome. All right. Well, that gets us to 2 o'clock. So, all right. That is going to do it for our show this week, folks. We hope you enjoyed it. We will be back with you again next week with another edition of the Diz Unplugged. Have a great week, everyone. And remember, stay out of the damn lakes. Okay.